Welcome to the bonus video for getting involved with the How Thick is a Three-Sided Coin project. If you haven't seen the main video, go and do that now. I'll link it in the description. This video is because after we finished the first video, we got more and more excited about doing this as a bigger project. So we do genuinely need you to try and work out what thickness coin is equally likely to land: heads, tails, and edge. So we know it's somewhere between 2√2 and √3, but we don't know exactly what it is. So you need to make some coins in a thickness somewhere in that range and then send us in the data. If we get enough data from enough people for enough different ratio coins, we should be able to hone in on this. Of course, if you work it out in theory, you've got some working out you want to send me, fire it in. I'll put my email address in the description below. But I mean, the easy way to get involved is just make some coins. So pick a ratio you want to try. If you have access to a workshop like Hugh did, of course, you can machine up your own coins of whatever thickness you want. In the video, I mentioned laser cutting them. Having looked into that since then, it's not going to work because of the kind of the thicknesses you can laser cut. And, you know, if you need a big enough coin to get decent results, it's sadly not going to work out. But you can 3D print them. So we have free 3D print models that you can download and print yourself. Thanks so much to Laura Talman, who is a math girl on Twitter and most things. She did some models for a few good fun ratios between the two extremes we know of, or you can choose your own. So you can download the free model, change the ratios however you want, 3D print it yourself. If you are going to do your own 3D printing, make sure you have them sufficiently dense, because you can choose what level of fill you have in the middle. If you don't do enough fill, they're quite light, and we're worried that may mess with the results. So make sure they're reasonably well filled in. If you haven't got a 3D printer, you can still get involved with some 3D printed coins, because Laura has put them on Shapeways. You can then pay and Shapeways will print them for you. They come in like a cage, so it's technically one 3D printed object. They'll post it to you, you crack it open, you've got 10 coins to start flipping. Now Laura's picked some fun ratios and you can choose one of those, get 10 or the same, but the main event is a graduated set. This has a √3 coin and a 2√2 coin and even steps in between. So if you flip each of those loads of times and send us in the data, and enough people do that, we will be able to narrow down exactly what this ratio is. I'm very excited. Now, how we throw the coins is important. And Hugh actually got chatting to Martin Rees, who he knows, and that's the Astronomer Royal here in England, and he used to be the head of the Royal Society. And we have gone, you know, right to the top with this problem. And Martin pointed out, which I think is a very good point, and this is what we were kind of a bit worried about, that it's not natural what is random in this particular context. Because, I mean, do you flip the coin? Do you roll the coin? It's not clear what counts as a random throw. So we've kind of got to choose what's going to be the random throw, and then we'll get the ratio that works with that. And then actually, once we've found it for one type of random throw, we can check the others to see how much that does make a difference. So we've gone for a variation on the Yahtzee method, where we put the coins into a glass or some kind of container. We were using pint glasses in the video with Hugh. You can, of course, use your favorite mug. You just pop it into the container, and we've gone for the shake and dump. So you put it in the container, shake, 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 dump. And we've been doing it on a hard surface because there's a chance the surface type will make a difference. So ideally, your results will be a couple coins in a glass. Make sure they're not too crowded so they've got room to move very freely. Shake, 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 dump onto a hard surface, and then count the number of heads, tails, and edges. And if something is rolling enough to get off the table, count that as an edge. That's our policy. And you can nominate what's a head and what's a tail. As long as you mark all the coins in advance and you are consistent, it should work out. We then have an online form for you to fill in your results. We're asking for the width and the thickness of your coin in millimeters. put that in as accurately as you can. We then ask for all your results, heads, tails, and edge, and total number of coins. Plus, there's room to give us information about your coins. This is quite important. Please put in what your coin was made of, how you made it, and the actual ratio you were going for. So if you were going for a specific ratio and you think the millimeters may not quite get that across, please put that in there as well so we can factor that in. Slightly annoyingly, for every different ratio of coin you try, you have to fill the form in again to send us the data, but that's the best way we found for us to be able to get the data from you and put it all together. So, I mean, if you're the kind of person who's flipped loads of different ratio coins to get the results, you're not going to mind sitting there and filling in a few forms. And so once we've got enough data, we're going to try and crunch it. We'll release the raw data. Everyone can have a play with it. Come on, we can get that ratio. I also mentioned in the main video, you can get the actual coins that Hugh and I were using. This is mainly targeted at schools. If you're a school and you want the coins, there is another form. I'll link that below. You can enter your details and we'll send you the coins. The idea here is if you've got some students, this is a great activity, and having the actual coins from the video can help motivate the students. But then once we started thinking about that, we're like, you know what? This would actually be a very good classroom activity. And so I run an organization called Think Maths, where we do stuff in schools and develop free resources for teachers. And Katie and Zoe, my Think Maths colleagues, pictured here on one of our recent company rambling outings, they really took this and ran with it. So they've made loads of resources for schools to use. So if you go onto the Think Maths page linked in the description, there are worksheets for working out the circumsphered method, working out the method where you put it in a circle. There's a guide to the whole problem, right? You can really get your students involved. There are loads of resources. And if you're not a student, still use the resources. They're all there, and we put on plenty of extra supplementary material. Jen Rogers, our statistician, very kindly has provided some stats resources. So if you are a school or you're just curious, you can try and crunch how statistically significant your results are. Well, if you just put them in the form, we will do that for you. But if you want to do it yourself, knock yourself out. We've also got shots of the chalkboards from the original video. I've got my spreadsheets I use when I was entering in the data, so you can either play with those or base whatever you're doing on those. You can go absolutely wild. Seriously, this project has got us all very excited, and we've put loads of effort into making all these resources. There is just the one main link. If you go to think-maths.co.uk, three-sided coin, everything will be on there. Do get involved, send us some data, and we'll release it all later. Oh, and one last final point, you may have noticed I've got less hair than I do in the main video. I mixed up my hairstyle about a month ago, actually, but I haven't filmed any main videos since then. So I'm gradually transitioning across, and I did a one-off video on my second channel, just me messing around at a theater that had this, and people were quite complimentary. And so now here it is on a supplementary video, and sooner or later I will have a main Think Maths video about my new hairdo, and I will hear what the internet has to say. But forget that. Go to the website, get the resources, flip some coins.